Donald Trump last night, his people announced a new social network to compete with Twitter, Facebook, enter the social media arena, called Truth Social. And in that press release for the announcement, they gave you a wait list that you could sign up for the beta. We managed to find the beta backend, which was already operational live, and you can register on it. And boy, did we have some fun.
How did you find the URL if it was hidden? And I mean, when you say we had some fun, what is this a euphemism for? What exactly did you do?
They had a listing on the Apple App Store for the mobile client for the social network. And there were a couple of hints within that listing on the iOS App Store. From there, it was fairly easy to do a little bit of sleuthing and find the actual active backend for the website. By having some fun, well, we made some accounts spoofing popular political figures, including former President Donald Trump, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, Ron Watkins of 8chan and QAnon fame, among others. And we trolled the ever-loving hell out of it. Until they shut it down 2 hours later.
Right. So that's my next question. How did they respond, or was your activity noticed?
It was noticed the moment it started making waves amongst mainstream media reporters. They very quickly started to act on it. They did a mass ban of all accounts that were created on the platform, and then once realizing that wasn't quite enough, they killed the domain completely. So everything that was online went offline. It was probably the fastest speed run of the destruction of a social network I've ever seen.
Advisors to former President Trump have said that the site will be technologically sophisticated. It will be able to compete with mainstream social media sites like Facebook and Twitter. You saw, or you allegedly saw, the back end of this website. Tell me a little bit about the server, the code base. Technically, how is this site constructed?
If you are in the know for certain open source solutions for social networks, you would probably know of a decentralized software package known as Mastodon. It appears that this social network is merely using the open source Mastodon network as its backbone, also used by Gab, amongst other websites. And they seem to be breaking the terms of the GPL license agreement while doing so. So there's probably going to be a lot of wrinkles along the way for them. No matter how this goes, it's going to be funny watching it play out at this point.
And the server, how is it hosted? Is this cloud hosting? Is it shared hosting? What's the sophistication level of their backend?
Not very. It was just some basic servers. Like we're talking standard cloud hosting. These were development instances, mind you. So I wouldn't judge the core infrastructure based on what we managed to find and play around with the other night.
So you're saying they could take what you found and they could transfer it to a more robust hosting location if they wanted?
Yeah, robustness isn't really in the question, though. Mind you, the important thing is that we completely embarrassed them in about 2 hours flat.
All right. So what are next steps if you're the web administrator for the Trump Social team? What are your next steps? Where do where do you patch the code? Where do you move the code? And how do I prevent people like you from taking advantage of vulnerabilities?
Well, it's based on open source software. So really not much you can do there. If somebody finds a vulnerability in the Mastodon package, they're going to take advantage of it across any deployed installation for the most part. The most impactful thing that they could probably do is take heed to the licensing agreement of Mastodon, because if they do not release the source code and all of their changes alongside this product launch, they likely have a hefty lawsuit in their very, very immediate future.
Okay, so my last question is about you. Why do I trust you? I mean, I'm taking your word for it, but you don't have any proof. There's no evidence. So who are you? You say you speak for Anonymous, but who is Anonymous? And why should I trust you in this hack?
Who I am? Kirtaner, aka Aubrey Cottle. I've been popping up in the media for a little over a year now as one of the founding members of the Hacker Collective Anonymous. In terms of things that I've been accomplishing over that period of time, I've done some white hat hacking. I assisted in the disclosure of a major breach of the United Nations, of the Indian government, of Ford Motors on the good guy side. And I've also leaked email logs of 8kun owner Jim Watkins, decloaked the operator of various QAnon news aggregator sites alongside my partner, Libby Shaw, via source code leaks. Among other things, I trolled Parler fairly good, got access to a mailing list of Parler last holiday season. So I'm messing with social networks that are right-wing aligned. It's not a new thing for me.
Why do I trust you? And why do I believe that you did what you say you did here?
Well, so I was the first one talking about it.